Hello friends, welcome to our channel where we will give you the knowledge of books in a simple and today we bring to you the story of such a book in an interesting way who has changed the thinking and life of millions of people. We are talking about Robert. This book of Kiyosaki's bestseller Rich Dad Poor Dad will help you understand money. It gives an opportunity to understand financial education and the mindset of becoming rich in depth. It contains stories of two dads, how the thoughts and decisions of both the rich dad and the other poor dad affect their financial. We influence the situation. This is the main message of this book. In this video we will tell you lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad, the most important principles and inspirational stories we are going to explain in simple words in English. If you want to improve your financial life, if you want to make this video, then this video will work as a guide for you. In this you will learn how money can work for you, what's the difference between assets and debt, why financial education is more important than your school syllabus, and how rich people became richer than their thinking. If you like the video, then like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel because our goal is to give you the knowledge that can give your life a new direction. Start this wonderful journey without any delay and know that what this great book by Robert Kiyosaki has taught us. So the thing is that Robert Kiyosaki, the author of this book, had two fathers. One of his fathers studied, he wrote, and was a PhD holder, but lived in poverty all his life and died in poverty. That's why Robert called him Poor Dad. While his other father was not very educated, but he was very rich. That's why Robert used to call him Rich Dad. So now this is something to think about. How can a person have two fathers at the same time? This is the answer that his poor father, real father, has a. It was his dream that Robert would work hard after completing your studies, secure your future by getting a job in a big company. But Robert's other father, who was rich, was actually Robert's friend Mike's. He was a father, and he wanted Robert to learn some lessons in his life, not just through some challenges. There are things that a person learns from his life experiences. So schooling just helps you get good grades, but the study of life teaches a lot. Of course, studies have their own, it is important, but everything cannot be achieved by relying on it alone. Let's know exactly what we need to do, how to do. The first lesson for him is hearing rich people don't work for money. It is a bit strange, but this story will help you a lot in understanding this line. Now there was a man who had a pit, and whenever he got some work done from his donkey, if he wanted to get the job done, he would dangle a carrot in front of the person. On seeing the carrot, the person with the donkey kept working in greed for food and hoped that one day he will reach that carrot soon. This is a very good trick for that man, but the poor donkey never got the carrot. Now ask why? Because that carrot is just an illusion. Most people are just like that donkey. They work hard, they go to work hard in the hope that one day they will become rich, but money, it remains just a dream for them. By chasing this dream you will never reach it. If you can let money work for you instead of working for money, if you want to become rich, then do not work only to earn money, because the way we step on the path of becoming rich, our fear increases and greed starts dominating us, that we might end up becoming the poorest of the poor just because of this fear of not being left behind. We start working harder, then our greed starts dominating us, and we start doing all those things. Start imagining beautiful things that we can achieve with money. Fear and greed trap us in a cycle that never ends. So now we work harder to earn more, and then our expenses also increase accordingly. So this is what the rich call the dad right race. Now the result is that we earn money. You work too hard to earn money and spend too much, and this is a trap. This is a trap that you have to avoid. This trap of greed and fear, because most people who want to be rich fall prey to this trap. So they lose money. Don't run after, but let the money run after you. Force you to take your job if you are unemployed. Don't go to work thinking you have to get a paycheck every month, because that paycheck barely covers all your bills. Although it's not the same as it is every month. The story is made. then you get fed up and start working harder and find another job, but you still keep working for money. You are always working, and this is the reason why you can never become rich. Face the truth, your accountability is for yourself and not for others. So whatever questions you have, ask yourself, do you work just because you have the answer? We are doing this to ensure security in your life, a job that will get you fired. There is no fear of leaving, or you work just to earn some money and you think that one day you will be able to make a living in this way. Will you become rich? Is this enough to satisfy you? If the answer is yes, then I am very sorry about your thinking, because you have made a plan to become rich. You have a dream that will never be fulfilled. You will always live in poverty. But if your answer is no, then your first step would be to remove fear from your mind. Remove it, because fear of not earning much money and greed make you think without thinking, forces us to work, and this is our steps are pushing us towards failure. Of course, we all have feelings of fear and desire, and that's natural, but we need to control them ourselves. Do not let it dominate us so much that we come under its control and start taking wrong decisions. It is better that we think a lot about whatever we do first, and not always do it with our heart instead. Take it easy. Ask yourself every morning, if you can do that much, are you fulfilling your potential as much as you should? Stop thinking like ordinary people who do this work only for money. Stop thinking that my boss pays me less, I should get more. Earn more than this. Remember one thing, only you are responsible for your problems, no one else but your boss. If he is not increasing your salary, then don't blame him. When you take responsibility for your own problems, then only you can solve them. We can find a solution, and that's the first lesson and the first principle that Amir dad taught us. Part of this lesson was that rich dad put him to work at a convenience store. He did not get any money for this work. He just kept working, and this was the benefit, that he keeps working with all his heart, and during this time many new ideas come to his mind how to make money run away from you. He got many ideas. I saw that the clerk of that store would tear the front page of the comic book into two parts. She would keep half of it and give the other half to the other. So a distributor used to come to the store late in the evening to sell those comics, takes the top half of books for credit, but gives new comics books in return. So one day, he asked the distributor if he could buy old comic books. He agreed on the condition that he would not sell the comics. It was on his mind, had a new business idea. He sold old comic books to his friends and start renting it out to other kids to study. In return, he gave me every book. He charged 10 cents for each book to read for just 2 hours, so he wasn't really selling them. He didn't even have to work at the garage where he got the comics from. They hired Mike's sister, for which she had to pay Rs. $1,000 per month. Every week, if he was given dollars, he earned $9.5 in a week, and this is how he did it. Learned that let money work for you rather than working for money. Now on to the second lesson on why financial literacy should be taught. Means that in 1923, the Age A meeting was held at the Water Beach Hotel, Chicago. Many world leaders and very rich businessmen became part of this meeting. Charles Schwab and Samuel Insull, owners of a very large steel company, he was the president of the largest utility at the time, and many other big businessmen. So 25 years after this meeting, many of these people, some died of poverty, committed suicide, and many even lost their mental balance. So the fact is that people get so engrossed in making money that they forget this important thing. You forget to learn how to keep your money. No matter how much you earn, retention is the real deal, and if you have the skill, if you have learned it, then now you can do anything. Situations which are often referred to as an emergency, or you can do it with ease, or maybe it can be bad if you plan it properly. The time has come, but people who win millions in the lottery enjoy themselves for a few years. They live, but then they go back to the same old situation. So for most people, the questions are how to become rich or what to do to become rich. The answers to these questions, most people are disappointed. But the right answer to this would be that first you should focus on your financial matters. Learn to be literate. C. If you want to build the Empire State Building First of all, you will have to dig a deep pit and then lay a strong foundation for it. But if you want to build a small house, then pouring a 6-inch concrete slab will do the job. It will go, but the sad thing is that most of us are dependent on a 6-inch slab. They want to build the Empire State Building, and if they do that, it is obvious that the building will be destroyed. Poor dad would break down. All Robert wanted was for him to study hard. But his rich dad, I wanted to make him financially literate. Most school systems only teach house building. There is no strong foundation. Schooling and studies have their own importance. But this is not all, and further on this comes the third lesson, which says that liabilities understand the difference between assets and always buy assets. Although it sounds very easy, it seems like a simple thing. But this is the only rule that will often help you become rich. Poor and middle-class people consider liabilities as assets. But the rich know what real assets are, and that's what they buy. Rich Dad Kiss believes in KIDL's KISS principle, which means keep it simply stupid. He taught the author and his friend Mike this simple thing, which, because of this, we have been able to lay such a strong foundation. And it's simple, that the liabilities, that is, understand the difference between your liabilities and assets, and buy assets. But if it is that simple, then everyone is rich, right? Here the matter is the opposite. It is actually so simple that no one even thinks about it. People think that they know the difference between liabilities and assets, but they only know the literacy of financial literacy. This does not mean that considering the income statement as a statement of profit and loss, it should be done in simple terms. It means income, that is, how much money came to you, and expenses means how much money you spent from your balance sheet. Assets and liabilities, it shows the balance between. Even many educated accountants do not know that. How are the balance sheet and income statement related to each other? And if we want to understand this, then assets and things are which works to earn money for you. Suppose you buy a house and rent it out. If you pay it, then with the same rent, you can also repay the loan that you took to buy the house. You bought the house, and now the rent from it is yours, and on the contrary, the liabilities are yours. Makes you spend money from your pocket, just like buying a house, and living in it would cost you no rent. If you are not going to get it, then now you must have understood that if you want to become rich, then buy assets, and if you want to remain poor, then you have liabilities. Rich people have more money because they can buy it from rich people believe in keep it simple stupid principle, whereas on the other hand, poor people believe in this. They are not able to understand the principles properly. That is why it is being emphasized that not only literate, but also financial be literate. Just numbers don't matter. The difference is made only when you tell your own story. It has been seen in most of the families that the one who is hardworking also has money. It is more, but what is the use of it when all the money is spent on liabilities? So, let's understand how a middle-class man spends his money, and if this continues to be their way, then they will remain in the middle class all their life, or who knows, they may go even below that, because you can see that all their money is being spent on liabilities. Sometimes death, sometimes rent, sometimes car loan, house loan, credit card bill fees, electricity bill, and many more. All their earnings are spent in this. On the other hand, there are poor people who they do not have any liabilities, but they do not have any assets either, and they still earn money. They get salary, but their whole money gets spent in everyday expenses. It is believed that a poor man earns $1,000, and out of that he spends $1,000 on the rent of his small house, his fare, $0 tax, and $0 expenses on food and clothing. If it happens, then he is left with nothing, and sometimes even has to borrow money he has to manage, and thus he becomes even poorer. In contrast to the rich people buy and keep assets, then those assets earn them more money. This is how their income increases from 2 to 4 to 4 to 8. Most of the rich people use their brain. They take work and take it on loan and give it on rent without doing any hard work. He gets rent every month with which he repays his loan.